What's up guys, my name is Stoody. I'd like to welcome you all back to another video, and in today's video I'm going to be doing my AFL Round 8 tips for the 2025 AFL season. Before we get into this week's tips, let's go ahead and see how it went last week. So last week I got 7 out of 9 tips correct, which now moves me to 49 correct tips in total for the season. So let's go ahead and see what ones I got correct and what ones I got incorrect. So I tipped Richmond to defeat Melbourne, however that game does count as that game was quite obviously rigged. I tipped Collingwood to defeat Essendon. I tipped Fremantle to defeat Adelaide. I tipped Brisbane to defeat St Kilda. I tipped Port Adelaide to defeat North Melbourne. I tipped Gold Coast to defeat Sydney. And I tipped Hawthorn to defeat West Coast. So the two that I got incorrect were that I tipped the GWS Giants to defeat the Western Bulldogs and that I tipped Carlton to defeat Geelong. So let's go ahead and go into this week's tips. So starting off on another bullshit Thursday night game, another game that no one can watch, we have Essendon taking on North Melbourne at Marvel Stadium. So I'm going to be Essendon in this one by 33 points. Whose fucking idea is it to put North Melbourne on a Thursday night game? Like, what a bunch of idiots. North Melbourne are terrible. But yeah, I think Essendon should be too good, too strong for North Melbourne. North Melbourne have been in some terrible form. They've been getting smashed all over the park. It wouldn't surprise me if Essendon go out and belt them, but I don't know. It is Essendon. They're a weird team. They can lose to bad teams from time to time. They're just one of those sorts of teams. So I think Essendon will win this comfortably. They should be way too good for North Melbourne on Thursday night. It'll be a boring game, so lucky I can't watch this one. Moving on to Friday night, we have St Kilda taking on Fremantle at Marvel Stadium. I'm going to be doing Fremantle in this one by 17 points. Surely Fremantle are going to start to get going now after their win against Adelaide. St Kilda were pathetic last week against the Western Bulldogs. It was against Brisbane, yeah. They've been pathetic the last 2 weeks against the Bulldogs in Brisbane. So I expect that to continue this week. I'm expecting Fremantle to go to Marvel and get the win away from home. So I think the tip's like 60-40 in favour of St Kilda, but fuck the 60. I think Fremantle will win this because Fremantle are clearly the better team. I don't think home ground advantage will matter in this one. So moving on to Saturday afternoon, we have the Western Bulldogs taking on Port Adelaide at Mars Stadium in Ballarat. I don't know why they play at this stupid stadium in this irrelevant town, but I'm going to be tipping the Western Bulldogs in this one by 12 points. The Western Bulldogs are in some red-hot form, but they can also shit the bed as well. They're just that sort of team as well. Their best is really, really good. Their worst is really, really bad. Have they gotten rid of that worst being really, really bad? I'm going to assume they have. They have got some of their good players back from injury now, so I think they'll start going up the ladder. And in Ballarat, I think they'll be too good, too strong for Port Adelaide, who could barely beat one of the worst teams in the competition last week. So I think the Dogs get the chocolates there. Saturday twilight, we have Adelaide taking on Carlton at the Adelaide Oval. I'm going to be taking Adelaide in this one by 21 points. Carlton are back in form now after their win against Geelong, but against Adelaide in Adelaide, that'll be a difficult task for them. Sometimes it's just the safe option to go the home team. And that's what I'm doing on this occasion. I think the home ground advantage will be big in this one for the Crows. And I think the Crows get the job done, but it wouldn't surprise me if Carlton do get their 4th win in a row. Moving on to Saturday night, we have West Coast taking on Melbourne at Optus Stadium. I'm going to be West Coast in this one by 15 points. I think West Coast are due for a win. They'll get their first win of the season on Saturday night, I think. Melbourne were only able to win their 2 games due to match fixing, so in reality they're also 0-7. And I think that'll show on Saturday night. I think West Coast will teach Melbourne a lesson. And, home ground advantage is always huge as well. So I think West Coast, only about 15% have tipped West Coast. I don't understand that. I think West Coast are going to win this and get their first win of the season. I don't think West Coast will win very many games at all, but I think this will be one of the ones that they will win. So I'm doing West Coast. I think Melbourne will be brought back to earth. They're not a good team at all, Melbourne. They're pretty pathetic. Moving on to the other Saturday night game, we have Collingwood taking on Geelong at the MCG. I'm going to win Collingwood in this one by 24 points. Geelong, I think, has started to be brought back down to earth, after losing to Carlton last week, and now they've got Collingwood. I think Collingwood are definitely the better team, and Collingwood are in some really road hole form at the moment. They've got cooked players winning Anzac medals. That's insane. So, yeah, I think Collingwood win this one, and we'll start to see Geelong's fall down the ladder, I think, starting from now. So moving on to Sunday afternoon, we have Sydney taking on the GWS Giants at the SCG. This one's another interesting one because it's at Sydney's home ground. It's the Battle of the Bridge, and Sydney are doing terrible. But I'm going to be tipping GWS in this one by 30 points. Sydney, I feel like they have got the wood over the Giants lately, but they're looking really shit this year. GWS, they had a really bad loss against the Western Bulldogs last week, so they'll be looking to bounce back. I just think the Giants are in the better form. I think they're the better team, and I just think, even away from home, I think the Giants will get the victory in this one. So moving on to the other Sunday afternoon game, we have Hawthorn taking on Richmond at the MCG. Now, I will be attending this game. I'm going to try and get level 1 seeds this time. Hopefully near the Richmond cheer squad, so that'll be at the city end. I've never sat at the city end before, so that'll be interesting. But I'm going to Hawthorn in this one by a rigged amount. Let's just be real. Everyone knows that Richmond are going to get severely fucked over in this game, and Hawthorn will be severely protected, as what always happens when Richmond play against Hawthorn. I mean, the least protected team against the most protected team, that's pretty fucked. So, regardless of who you tip in this game, it's pretty much an automatic correct tip, because in reality, Richmond have won already, because we all know it's going to be rigged. Moving on to Sunday night, we have Brisbane taking on Gold Coast at the Gabba. I'm going to be doing Brisbane in this one by 28 points. Brisbane have the wood over Gold Coast big time. It's at the Gabba. Gold Coast cannot play away from the Gold Coast, so I think Brisbane get the win. We'll win it reasonably comfortably. Brisbane clearly the better team. Gold Coast severely overrated. So Brisbane should be able to get the job done here at home. So those are my tips for round 8. Feel free to leave your tips in the comment section down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment like this. Be sure to become a channel member. Just click the join button next to my name. Also be sure to subscribe to my premium King Gods of Nick. Link to his channels in the description. Also be sure to subscribe to my other YouTube channels. Be sure to subscribe to my podcast channel, King's Names of Stoody. Also be sure to subscribe to my second YouTube channel, Stoody Archives. Links to both of those are in the description. Also be sure to join my Discord server. It is called Australian Sports Community. Link to that is in the description. Also be sure to follow me on my other social media accounts. I have Twitter and I also have TikTok. The username for all those is StoodyYT. Links to all those will also be in the description. I hope you had a good day, and I'll see you all in the next video.